Welcome to the Tap Project Podcast, the place where gaming meets blockchain and everything in the middle. Now, here's your hosts, the Tap Bros.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Welcome to a new Tap Bros podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in and jumping on wherever you guys are. My name is Haniff Knight, and I'm one of your co-hosts.
And my name is Hugh, and I'm your other co-host. And today we've got a fantastic show for you, so let's suit up.
Let's suit up. Thank you guys for tuning in. For those you guys have noticed, we called this the Tap Bros podcast. So this is going to be our new format for 2021. Super cool. So if you're jumping in, if you're coming from our previous YouTube, we call that the Tap Project podcast. We'll be throwing this out there to hopefully some other sources as well, so you guys can find it in all places.
Yeah, we wanted to get it out to everybody, get it into as many hands as possible, give everyone the opportunity to find out what's going on, find out our thoughts, just to hear from two co-founders, what's going on, like you said, in the blockchain world, the gaming world, in between, everything in between.
Awesome. That sounds good. So that gives us a little bit about what we're going to be talking about in the Tap Bros podcast, and a little bit of an introduction about the podcast in itself. So pretty much just like the intro says, this is a podcast about gaming, blockchain, and pretty much everything in the middle. And when I talk about everything, I mean everything in the middle, from business to sports. Me and Hugh, we grew up playing soccer and sports, heavily involved in that as well. And now moving into the blockchain and entrepreneurship world, this is kind of where this podcast sits. So if you guys are enjoying, please don't forget to follow and drop a like wherever you guys are, or leave us a comment on what you guys do want to hear. But without further ado, Hugh, who are you? Give me a little bit of an intro about who you are.
A little bit of an intro about me. Oh, this is going to be challenging. Usually you don't talk about yourself so much. So I'm going to do my best here. So I am one of the co-founders of the Tap project on the Ethereum network. I am a coder, a developer, a writer. I think I'm a writer. I'm pretty decent. I'm a Canadian entrepreneur, an investor, and a lover of blockchain and all things new, all things technology. How was that?
Did that work pretty good. That is pretty good. A Canadian.
Canadian. Yes, you got to throw that in. Got to throw some love for the Canadians in there. So.
The old "I am Canadian." I haven't seen that commercial since like the 90s or something.
Yeah, hey, gotta throw it in, right?
That is awesome. Well, my name is Haniff Knight, and I am one of the co-founders of the Tap project as well on the Ethereum network. I'd probably say I'd look myself to be somewhat of a public speaker, business developer, Canadian entrepreneur as well, investor, podcaster, and everything, a fan of everything gaming and anything that has to do with gaming or anything for the love of the game. So that's where I'd probably stand. How was that?
Oh, that was excellent. I liked it. That was beautiful. Round of applause. Insert clapping. Got the golf clap.
We got the golf clap here. At least we got the golf clap. So we did talk about the Tapcoin and our project, the Tap project. So what is the Tap project? Hugh, if you want to do a quick little intro, what is the Tap project for those of you who are just coming in, who just found us out today, or wherever you guys are watching to us?
The Tap project you're just throwing me in the pot. Okay, for sure. So the Tap project is a universal gaming connectivity. It's a revolutionary vision that connects games via their virtual in-game currency using blockchain technology built, like we said, off the Ethereum network. Connected cryptocurrency, allowing gamers to import and export from games, Steam challenges into the Ethereum network, into the Tapcoin, TTT, and the world.
The world. That is good. So for those of you who did not understand anything Hugh just said, because that is blockchain, when anyone hears blockchain, they just kind of zone out. But what the Tapcoin is, it allows you to convert your in-game currencies from one game to the next. So imagine this. You're playing COD, earn those COD points, playing Candy Crush on your phone, convert those currencies together, buy the upgrades in Candy Crush, and continue on. That is the goal. That is the mission of the project. We've been doing this since about 2017, 2018, and that is where we are. We've made some pretty good steps. We're allowing people to export in-game currency from the 3 integrated games on www.tapplatform.io, convert in-game Steam achievements, which is a huge, huge feat. And we just launched out our depositing Uni V2 tokens and staking. So you can farm and stake now live on the Tap platform. So go check out www.tapproject.net or www.tapplatform.io if you want to learn more about that.
For sure. Where can they find us on Twitter?
You can find us on Twitter at tap_coin, as well on Telegram too. If you guys do have a Telegram, just type in the Tap Project and you guys will be able to see our official Telegram channels and our Twitter, tap_coin for Twitter. And that is where we spend most of our time in reaching out to the community and doing what we do best.
Yes, that's for sure. We're in there. We're in the community. We're talking, we're chatting, we're laughing, we're having fun, we're building, we're changing, we're disrupting, we're doing everything that you can think of to the gaming, to the blockchain world. So
yes. So let's get hot and heavy and into our podcast. We're starting out with a new format this time around. So hopefully when you guys do see this might be towards the end of the year 2020 or at the beginning of the 2021 for you. But we're hitting it with a new format. So we got a banging show today. We're going to be doing a new Tap Bros Market Minute.
Ooh, exciting. I'm super excited to see how that one comes out for sure.
We'll see how that works. We're going to be hitting up with the Tap Project update, highlighting a little bit of what we did over the last bit on our newest update. We're going to be discussing some articles that we came up throughout this week in terms of the week of December 28th and a little bit of a wrap up. So that's where our new format is. It's a pretty clean format. It's pretty cool. And I know you guys will love it.
Yeah, we wanted to keep it simple. We wanted to touch everything in between, open up the show for those just getting in or those already in that want to find out more about blockchain, cryptocurrency markets, projects, and just get our thoughts out there.
Get our thoughts out there. And that is where we will do it. So Hugh, hit them with the disclaimer.
What? I love the disclaimer. So these are just our thoughts. Just two co-founders chatting it up, having a chat, talking about what's going on. We always say, do your research, look into it for yourself. This is not financial advice in any shape or form. This is just us talking about things in the blockchain world that we find interesting and fascinating and changing. Do your research. Find out for yourself. Ask the questions: who, what, when, where, why, and how.
That is pretty much it, though. That is where we want to just have an opportunity for you guys to reach out to us, for us to kind of share our voices about what we're seeing in the space, about the project on a whole. Just because we are living it, we're breathing it. We always said that we are kind of the drivers, but we want the community to be right in the passenger seat, not touching the wheel because that's dangerous.
No, that's crazy.
In the passenger seat, right there telling us where to go and how they feel the project is going. So do your research. This is educational purposes as well, talking about blockchain and what we're seeing. But always do your research, figure things out. Look for the articles. We'll post everything that we talk about in the descriptions, whether it's on YouTube or any other sources as well. We'll post those articles to our Medium and such, and you guys will be able to check them out there as well.
All right, let's hit him up with the first on the list. Let's go to the market minute. The Tap Bros Market Minute. Hit it.
The Tap Bros Market Minute. So what is the market minute? I'll have a minute to talk about the market on a whole, whether it's the crypto market, the stock market, whatever markets I can figure out, the superstore market, President's Choice, how many oranges are going for, 5 bananas or whatever. I'll have a minute to discuss, and that will be time. So let's hit it up and go. All right. So I got a minute. This is going to be tough, but I'll try and do it. So this week, December 28th, 27-28, over the weekend, we saw a pretty big spike on Ethereum versus a USD and BTC versus USD. Ethereum took the heavyweight punch over the weekend with a big jump up. And what I am seeing is a new trend, a new sort of a trend over the last couple days on the 4-hour and the 1 day. So that tells me that's in the next few days that we're going to see this trend hopefully continue to last. We are still continuing to climb on the weekly ladders for ETH USD, and I don't see a top just as yet, but we are getting up there, which is beautiful to see. As I said, Ethereum over the weekend just had a pretty big spike. And yeah, I'm not even going to talk about Ripple because that is in the market minute, but I'm not going to be talking about it. So that is where it goes.
Time. That was pretty good. You had like 10 seconds left, but you did excellent. I loved it. All right, that was beautiful. That was
Thank
beautiful.
you. And this market minute was brought to you by Noel Dulé Real Estate with Remax, providing real estate services in your neighborhood. Visit noeldulé.com for more information.
Fantastic. I love it. I gotta say, I'm loving this new format right now. I'm all smiles. If you could see my face, it's a smiley face right now.
That market minute made me sweat though. Oh man,
was it too fast?
No, that's good. That's good. You got a time crunch. Can't be talking about market minutes and stuff that's going to bore people for 15 minutes or something.
15 minutes later.
No, that was good. That is exactly where we wanted to put that there. So, what are we going to be talking about next?
We're talking about the TAP project next. A little bit about what happened over the course of the last few days, the last week, the exciting update, the upgrade to the platform that we just pushed out that's been happening. We've been working on it for a while. The developers have been hard at work testing contracts, code, platform, front end, back end, and we pushed it out to the community. And I don't know if you've got the numbers, but it was the launch of 24 hours, the first 24 hours of that launch where we implemented farming, staking, burning, Dega. It was absolutely amazing. It blew my mind, and it was excellent. Speechless. I was speechless.
Speechless. Yeah, no, I don't have all the numbers, but I do know within the first 24 hours of that launch, I think we got like 84,000 USD in volume for the Tapcoin, which was super cool to see. And that's just people coming into the project, transacting, whether they're staking, they're depositing UniV2 tokens, whatever they were doing. So that's awesome.
No, it was absolutely excellent.
That was amazing. So it's great to see the community. To me, they said that they liked it if they put out that much there. And we are always looking for your feedback. So please do jump into our Telegram channels, hit us up on Twitter. Let us know what you guys thought of it, because this is how we're going to shape it to make it just right for you and make the best product we can and allow this project to continue to grow and flourish.
Yeah, it's at any point, and that's a good point. At any point in anything that we do, if you've got feedback, you've got comments, you've got concerns, you've got questions, like you said, you've got our socials. Hit us up in Telegram, hit us up on Twitter, hit us up in the comments of YouTube, wherever. If there's anything you like, anything you want us to touch or talk about more or go over, I know we had questions, and so we've got a help section on the TAP platform, TAP project website.
We've released new videos.
Yeah, new videos, new how-tos, how to do it. We're trying to make it simple. One of the things we've always said is that the bell curve for those getting into, for example, farming or staking or just getting into the cryptocurrency, there is a learning curve. Right?
Too much.
There's the elephant in the room. There is a learning curve. And so we're trying to make it easy. So we're trying to do our best to give you as much information and give the community and new users to the platform much info on how to get involved, how to get their hands in, how to get into the blockchain, how to get into the gaming, how to get into the crypto world, and just make it easy. Like we said, we cut down a lot of the things. The onboarding, we made it easier. The staking, the farming pieces. I don't know what else I can say. That's pretty much that's pretty much it. Like, what were your thoughts on the launch?
That's pretty much what I would say is the whole point of this launch and this new update was to kind of slim down everything that blockchain is and everything that this whole project is. When we first started, obviously, we wanted to throw out everything, show people how the magic happens behind the closed doors, and we wanted to throw that in your face, kind of allow you to see that. But throughout learning and throughout your feedback, obviously, we were able to take what is more important to you, and kind of focus on that. So we removed a lot of the kind of the cluster in and out of the platform and made it as simple as possible. And even just for the farming and staking, it's simple as just setting up your MetaMask account and just depositing, whether it's uni tokens or depositing your TTT to stake for transaction revenue. We try to make it as simple as possible. And that's one thing. I've been doing a lot of talks, not so many this year in terms of public talks, but I have done some online talks this year. But when I used to do a lot of in-person talks prior to COVID-19, they were always, I could always see on people's faces, when you talk about blockchain, it was kind of that like deer in the headlights look, right?
Yeah.
You're staring at them and you're like, oh, here we go. I got a market minute. I got a market minute to try and get these people to understand what blockchain is. And you're never going to understand what blockchain is in a minute. You can maybe a minute 30, maybe. That's if you've got perfect. But that was the whole point, is to try and slim this down and try and make this as accessible to everybody and allow people to kind of slowly understand it, because that's where we are right now. We're pushing into some pretty good territory with other big companies jumping into blockchain. And it's about time that we now start to kind of slim things down as much as possible and kind of, a lot of times, right. I probably imagine this would be the same thing as like the invention of a car. At the very beginning, everyone wanted to know how the car worked.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, what? I'm going to throw it out there. Probably like 60, 70% of people don't know how a car works.
I'd probably say 80.
80%? No, if you think about it, they probably don't know how a car works. It's not a bad thing. It's not saying you're dumb.
Hey, I don't know how to. All I know is I have a steering wheel, I press on the gas, and I'm there.
Exactly. You put gas in there and it continues to go, right?
Yeah.
But that's what we want to do with blockchain. We want to slim it all down because we know the technology is working in the background and everyone's confident in the technology at this point. Now you just want to slim it down and show people what they want. Go fast.
That's it. That's all. Go fast. Get in the car, drive, get out. Let's move on. That's it.
Get in the car, drive, and move on. So for those, again, we did launch that update on December 21st, 22nd as well. So go check it out and let us know how you guys are finding it. Again, there is opportunity for you guys to convert your in-game currency from any of the 3 integrated games on the platform. Connect your Steam accounts and convert those Steam achievements to in-game currencies. Any Steam. We have some of the hottest Steam games right now. I know Cyberpunk took a lot of heat, but Cyberpunk's on there.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Let's just get into Cyberpunk. We're not going to avoid it. It's unavoidable. What are your thoughts on the release? There's some that were. I don't want. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the release?
My thoughts on the release?
On the release.
You want my thoughts?
I would love to hear your thoughts on the release.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to say the game was a bust per se. I'm not going to say that the game struggles, because I do have friends that currently are playing on PC and they are loving the game in terms of its graphics, kind of what the game brings out. But why I say this was a bust, because and I know, being developers and kind of pushing out our projects on our own and pushing out whether it's an application or a web development application as well, you got to push it out properly, and you got to make sure that a majority of your market is able to use your product. I think it was 43% of people pre-ordered on consoles, and this game was marketed for consoles. And we all know, I don't need to, everyone, if you listen to other podcasts, you'll hear about it. But we all know that, every console pretty much that played this game ran into huge issues. And some were worse than others. Some were unplayable. But to me, this is a unfortunate. I'm gonna say it. I will blame the execs. I'll blame the people trying to push the developers, unfortunately, to push something out that wasn't ready. But it's really unfortunate that such a good game on PC is cannot even be played, and it shouldn't. And we're seeing refunds and stuff being given out. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something controversial on our first reformat. I think yes, it wasn't ready. It at the end of the day kind of came down to a little bit of gotta make that revenue. I understand. I completely understand. But it wasn't ready. But you know what? The community was killing for it. They were asking for it, and I think it was coming from a dev perspective. The devs were kind of stuck in the middle. You got your execs on one end saying, "Hey, get it out. We need to get it out." Right? We've got marketing lined up. We got everything, and then you got the community saying, "Hey, we're ready for it. I don't care what state it's in. Just get it out." And the developers, kind of sit in the corner crying, "It's not ready yet." And they had no choice, and they had to get it out. And then it was.
This would have been their third delay, pretty much.
I know. They should have just, delayed again. Just delay, because I think, and we had this discussion offline. I think it now sets this precedence where, releasing stuff that's not mainstream ready, you're gonna have to start handing out refunds. You're gonna have to start apologizing. You're gonna have to start, having it's going to be like Twitch streams of AAA publishers just apologizing to the users.
We saw that with Sony just pretty much forcing their hand. I know there was a little bit of discussion between CD Projekt Red and Sony, but CD Projekt Red's kind of standpoint was, hey, reach out to where you bought it and get a refund. We're not going to distribute refunds directly from us. And Sony kind of just pulled the trigger, said, we've removed it from the Play Store. You can get your refund without people even having to ask them. They just pulled the game from the Play Store. Pulled a game that has been in development for over 10 years. They just pulled it, yanked it. Isn't that that's huge?
It's massive. It's set, like we said, it's setting a precedence. I think everybody's sort of to blame. I'm just gonna put it out there. Everybody's to blame for this one. We could have did better as gamers. We could have done better as community. Could have done better as developers. Could have done better as exec. We sort of knew what was. We knew this game wasn't ready. Like, train stations that could have had trains having, half, graphics pieces in there kind of floating around, just kind of tossed in. It's like when you're packing up, you're running late. You're running late for your trip, and you just reach inside your drawer, you just grab everything. You don't even know what you're grabbing. You throw it in the suitcase, zip it up, and you take off. And by the time you get there, you find out you got no underwear. Right? That's pretty much what happened.
You're like, oh, that's probably my worst dream.
Yeah, 5 shirts, 7 pants, no underwear. And
I'm always like, I'm 3 underwear short.
Flip it over.
No, that's a little sidetrack, but I'm always making sure that I at least have 3.
Yes.
3. Some people might say that's overkill, but I'm always saying a 3 a day at least. That is a funny little thing. Why people bring more underwear than what they usually wear? It's like they're always prepared to poo themselves or something. I'm not going to get into that, but you know what I mean?
It goes back to childhood, right? Where you got to say, whatever happens, if you get hit by a bus, make sure you have clean underwear.
Right?
It all goes back to childhood. It doesn't matter what's going on. Zombie apocalypse, typhoon, storm, hurricane, blizzard, lightning strike. Just make sure you have clean underwear.
That's what my mama told me.
That's it. That's all you need. The rest doesn't matter.
But we digress. Very far away. But I do agree with you, Hugh. It was kind of a little bit of a drop ball on all ends. I did say it when they delayed it from, I think it was October or November to December. I said it. And I said it very publicly. I didn't say it on a podcast or anything, but I said this is going to be unfortunate because where they put it out, I think December 13th, right before Christmas. That meant they were going to do time crunch. That
Yeah.
meant they were drawing the line in the sand and they wanted this thing out before Christmas. I I almost would have wondered what happened if we did delay it again or if they did delay it. Would the community have backlash on it? I'm sure they probably would have, unfortunately, just because we are in the gaming community and we want our stuff now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just one of those unfortunate things. I think you're kind of a dead if you do, dead if you don't type of situation.
Yeah,
Um,
I said that's why you blame everybody. There's literally no choice. But right now, what do? You got to fix, go back, patch, update, and we're all gamers. We all know the gamer mantra. We've hung in there long enough to know that we're not going anywhere. We're just gonna we'll be sad about it, but at the end of the day, we'll wait. We'll wait again.
we will wait again. Let's get to our next topic. Here was a article that came out throughout the week, and I'll read the headline, Hugh, and if you kind of want to jump in to kind of get that intro. But it states Paris Saint Germain and Juventus fan tokens rally 80 to 160% after listing. That is about the Paris Saint Germain Football Club and Juventus Football Club fan tokens being released and hitting tremendous volume. What's that about?
You know, and I'm gonna say it again. Like how long have we been saying? Go back to our previous podcast. You just listen what we've been saying. What have we been saying, Hannah? Tell me.
I
What have
think
we
we
been
said
saying?
it. I think we said it maybe about 3 podcasts ago. This will be the first one on our different format as well, so you might not be able to find it there. But if you do jump into our YouTube, you'll be able to find it. We did talk about fan tokens, and we did talk about sports and blockchain, and how we saw this could go, and how we saw that we could this could be shaped. We had this discussion, and people might not say because this was internally, but we had this discussion about a year and a half ago,
Mhm.
about how the use of blockchain and fan tokens and how this could be huge for gaming, sports, and everything alike. So it's actually really on my side. It's really cool to see this. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to be involved with this, but this is amazing for the industry, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's one of the great movements, one of the great pieces. It's you're invested in the team, you're invested in the players, and now you've got some type of connection, some type of interaction, some type of reward system, ownership, governance, capabilities around that team. And we've been, like you said, we've been saying it for a while. This is sort of the direction that we see the opportunities either in esports or sports. Um, you know, uh, and this article was it broke it down really simple. If you have a Juve token or a Paris Saint Germain token, you've got the ability to get match day tickets, exclusive experience, digital badges, and a little bit of voting. I believe they had some governance sort of tied into it, which was really interesting, and that'll be interesting to see how that piece plays out. But it's like we're saying. I think we're going to see a lot more teams. I think, and I'm going to say it here, maybe we're going to see something from Man City around that piece. Maybe some Man City tokens. I don't know if it's going to happen, but if it does, come back to this podcast, and you heard it here first.
You heard it here first, folks. I do think you are right. I do think we will be seeing a lot more teams jumping onto this and jumping into blockchain and kind of getting exposure, because it's for them, obviously it's additional revenue. So you
Yeah.
look at it on a business side for them, all they have to do, they're saying, well, you're telling me all I have to do is create a token, and then I have to give it to people, and then they'll buy what they normally would and buy extra jerseys, blockchain jerseys. Right? That's just kind of my exec voice right there. So that is something that I do see that it can be adopted in any other team. People get tokens and it gives them exclusive abilities to whether it's get discounts on jerseys, whether it's get match day tickets, whether it maybe gets additional seating, maybe gets you into, getting a pizza, at halftime or getting a free shirt. Any of those things in addition to the ticket you're buying is just extra rewards for the consumer. It's extra rewards for me. If I'm going to a game and I'm getting all these things and I already get some tokens when I bought this ticket, that's amazing. I'll take it.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely incredible. And you look at I think the 24-hour volume for PSG and Juve it reached about 300 million. So there's a lot of people that see this and see the possibilities. And I think sports are usually at the forefront and trying out new things and new technologies and new concepts and ideas and integrating it into their organizational base. That it's I said I just see it becoming sort of a standard thing and more sports organizations tying into it and trying it out and attempting to interact with their fans more, especially because everybody's sort of been at home for the last bit.
And that is a good point because I do think that this might take a little bit to kind of get established, but it doesn't mean that it's going to fail. But we'll have to get a little bit of help when the fans start to come back into the arenas. Once we see a little bit of more people, half the amount of people that are going to be at these arenas start to come back, start to interact with the clubs. I think we're going to see it skyrocket even more. So I think this is just the beginning for that.
Yeah, I 100% agree on that. And it'll be interesting to see, does it tie into like the physical, right? Like PSG, Juve, and then you take it into like a FIFA possibility.
It very well could. It
Oh,
could tie into a physical.
physical.
We already saw some cool things with, I think it was Adidas. I think I showed you that, where you putting that little that chip in your insole of
Yes.
your soccer boot,
Yeah.
and then you're creating data from that. That's cool.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting, right? So you
That's cool as well. That has some
Hmm?
that has some potential.
Ooh. It does. It all has potential. And it's interesting. Are we reaching that point in the matrix where the physical and the digital start to become blurred? Another article that we did take a look at was, and I'll read you the title here. Game time. Microsoft adopts Ethereum blockchain for gaming royalties. Did you get a chance to look at that? What was your sort of thoughts on that one?
I did get a chance to look at it, and it's a interesting step by Microsoft, but I do know that Microsoft has been kind of making moves in the background, whether they're putting out patents and stuff like that, kind of in the last little bit. So I do know that they kind of are pro blockchain and the solutions, but they've chosen obviously to use Ethereum here to kind of allow uh, kind of people, content creators to get, some royalties from it in shapes of a coin or in shapes of off of Ethereum. So that is cool to see.
Yeah, it's it's, without getting too deep into it, it's an interesting piece. I'm interested to see what direction they take it. Like Microsoft's been making some changes. They've been I don't know if you remember, this was probably a couple years ago. They even released a blockchain game. I don't know if you remember that. Do you remember that?
Which one was that?
Oh man, I don't remember the name, but it was like, I can't remember. If I find it, maybe I'll make a note and bring it up the next podcast. But they had a blockchain game, and so you could tell they were kind of testing the waters and seeing what's going on. And so it's interesting to see them kind of delve in. And like we always say, Ethereum is sort of where it's at for getting your feet wet. I know I'm going to hear it. I know. There's other blockchains. I know. I know.
What is Ethereum not the only blockchain network?
I hear you. I know. I understand. But it's Ethereum smart contracts. It's you win the development community. You get a large chunk of the development community, and you get a large chunk of the market. That's sort of how it's always been. If developers can code on it, they'll bring the people. People will use it. That'll increase. That'll get the word out. Then you got the companies, and then it'll just keep growing. So, that's another discussion for another time.
I know that has been Ethereum's kind of bread and butter, smart contracts allowing developers to continue to develop off that. And even since its introduction, no one has been able to kind of, defeat it. There have been other blockchains that are able to kind of do some things better, where it's reduced gas prices, lower transaction fees, stuff like that. But just on a whole, usability and accessibility for a lot of developers out there, and big companies to jump into it, it's Ethereum's kind of been that go-to. So I say this is a good thing for Microsoft, and you know why? I'll kind of add a little bit of a gaming element here. Microsoft for the last couple of years has been kind of losing the console war. And I don't know if you guys do notice what Microsoft has been doing, but they've been expanding in other ways, because I think maybe they've slowly accepted that they're losing the market in terms of the console war between Sony. But what they've done is, introductions of Game Pass, acquiring bigger developers, acquiring indie developers, acquiring a lot more whole package. They've kind of combined PC gaming with Xbox gaming. So pretty much I'd say all of their exclusive come to PC through the Game Pass program, and I'd say probably about 90% of the games that are on Xbox are on PC as well. So they've kind of adapted and kind of molded both together, and now they're doing things into blockchain. So I think they're trying to go, Sony's doing the straight up or straightforward. Microsoft's trying to take the long way around and hopefully kind of take a bigger piece of the pie, while Sony's just focused on going forward. So I'm saying chalking this up to a win for Microsoft.
I agree with that. It's, as I said, it's an interesting move, because you're providing a solution for royalties and rights management, which is, that's part of the gaming industry, and you're sort of catering and creating this space, this platform, to receive royalties and rights and so forth. And you're not really going at the game, but you're going around the game, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Maybe Sony, you need to make a little play here. Just saying.
I don't know what the plays are going to be, but it's going to be cool. We definitely have to keep our eyes on such a big player like this making repeated steps into the space. And as we always said in the other ones, hey, Microsoft, you want to talk? Let's talk.
Yo, hey, we're always available. We love to talk. Hey, just give us a call, send us a tweet, an email. We'll take an email. Just we're here. We're here for you. If you want to
Give us
just
a
bounce some
shout.
ideas off of us, hey, we're here. We got ideas. We can listen.
We got plenty of ideas. So that will be it, guys. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in to another a new Tap Bros podcast with our new format, ending the year 2020 and kicking off 2021 in style, in fashion, as we usually do. We are super excited for what we have to come. Stick around to this podcast, guys. We have a lot of cool things coming up. We're going to be bringing back some of our guest speakers that we did from early 2020, late 2019, bringing back some of those people, including more sponsorships. If you guys do like to hit us up, want us to shout you guys out, let us know as well. We might even be getting into some user comments, some questions. Maybe if you guys want to do some audio stuff, we have a lot to do. So we got some banging stuff to jump out and hit the ground running. So if you guys do feel that this is going to be something that you're going to be interested in, please hit that follow, please hit that share button or that like, and let us know your support So that's going to be it. That is where we will end this show off today. Again, thank you guys for everything and tuning into the new Tap Bros. Fueled by gamers, inspired by the community, and disruptive to all.